me a second here. Just write hello. Hello. If it's me you're looking for, give me a second. I need to. Hello. Oh, that was. If it's me you're looking for. That was not my intention. Let me just get this link set out here onto Facebook. Bear with me. Almost there. Okay. Let me just find it up here. All right, I think we're ready. Maybe a couple minutes early. How is everybody doing tonight? I don't know if anybody's there, but if you are, how you doing? I figure out what I'm going to... Whoa, that's not what I want to try tonight. That was me being all crazy. Yeah, so I didn't know what to draw tonight, and then I thought... I said something about drawing spotted eagle rays in the podcast, but I actually drew one of those last week. I'll just draw one real quick while we're waiting for maybe a few more people to show up. It's a pretty easy design. They have this sort of wingspan here coming up, eye down here, that's their mouth. You can kind of see their mouth from the side a little bit. Then back here they have a little fin, and then that really long tail. We'll bring it around this way. Spines. Yeah, that's your spotted eagle ray. They got 5 gills there on the side. That's your basic spotted eagle ray body design. What's that?
The thing on Creature Science Illustrated Facebook says Whales Live.
Yes, that's what I titled it.
Okay.
There will be whales tonight. Not like the country whales, but actual big, large sea mammals. Whales. Whale, whale, whale. What do you know? Yeah, but this is your basic spotted eagle ray. Give it a little color. We got anybody on board yet, Sandy?
No.
I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I'll just doodle this little guy for a minute there. Oh, my mom's there. Oh, Terry's there. All right, we're getting some people now. Hey, everybody. Just doing a quick eagle ray because I did say I was going to do it. So even though I did it last week, forgot about that. But so we'll just do a quick one here. I've done eagle rays before. I designed our camp shirts at the aquarium, and the first camp shirt that I designed for the aquarium was a spotted eagle ray, kind of a cartoony one, but I like it. Is it cold out there? I know it's cold in Missouri. I bet it's really cold in Michigan. I'll give him his spots. Now, I said in the podcast in Cozumel, my friend was just down there, and apparently there's a lot of spotted eagle rays down there right now. So that's kind of cool. Let's just give this a little bit of light. Should have done this before the spots. 25 degrees. Oh, that's not cool. Well, it is cool, but not, you know what I mean. All right. Whoa, that was not my intention there. So, how's everybody doing tonight then? Everybody staying warm since it's freezing cold there? I don't know if we got anybody else on board yet? Sandra D?
There's 4 in the chat.
4 in the chat.
But
cool.
Just comments from your mom and Terry so far.
All right. Well, that's good. All right, so that's what it looks like without any lines. Looks pretty weird, right? Let's add some lines, but with a dark brown. We'll go back in and be darker than that even. Add some detail. This was actually the eye here. Oh, I missed that one. Now, these guys are stingrays, and most sharks and stingrays have 5 gills. There are some exceptions out there, but most of them have the complementary 5 gills. And the spotted eagle ray is no exception. His tail looks a little fragile. And that's actually a real problem with these guys, is their tails are really fragile. We have some of these at the aquarium. We have to be super careful with them because their tails break really easily. Icy mix falling out on my mom's farm. That sounds terribly unpleasant. All right, let's do this. So let's get to the whale. So this is not something I draw a lot. So I thought it'd be kind of an interesting challenge for me to draw a whale. I found a picture of a humpback whale, which is going to be my model. And I thought since it's so cold and everything, I'd focus on a cruise creature that kind of reminds me of the cold a little bit. You know, instead of the typical tropical cruise creatures. So I'm just going to kind of rough sketch this guy out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do him cartoony-like or more realistic yet. I'm not kind of sure where he's going to go, but of course, when I think of humpback whales, I think of Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, where they get the message from the humpback whales, and I don't know. I always liked that movie. Imagine that. Now, tails are interesting. If you start drawing a lot of marine animals, you know, a lot of them have a similar tail design, but when you get into it, the intricacies of that tail are often quite different.
Your mom asked.
When a tail breaks, does it grow a new one? Is that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Hopefully, I thought you meant the whale. They don't grow a new one though. No, Mom, the stingrays do not grow a new tail. So, you know, they can survive without a tail, but obviously that's not the outcome that we are looking for. So the idea is to just be careful with them so that doesn't happen. But it It is a concern. Where is your eye, humpback whale? All right, it's down.
So Terry said, "Weird. I was thinking the same thing. People say that's the worst Star Trek movie besides the first one." And then he said, "I disagree, though. I liked it."
I like it. I mean, I honestly, it's not my favorite of the Star Trek movies, but it is up there. I mean, I don't. There are a couple that are but that is not one of them. I enjoy that movie. It's a little. I think some people don't like it because it's a little more funny and campy, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind I don't mind a little humor with my sci-fi. I am, after all, a huge Douglas Adams fan and Red Dwarf fan, which are both science fiction comedy. Well, Douglas Adams is not a science fiction comedy, but he's famous for making science fiction comedies. So that eye is probably too big. So maybe this is Whale's going to be a little more cartoony. Khan! Well, yeah, Wrath of Khan is amazing. I would agree with that. Another one that's a little controversial, another Star Trek film that some people don't like as much that I enjoy is Star Trek 6. I just really liked that Star Trek for some reason. I remember, like, it was mind-blowing to me when I saw that when there's like the assassination in the beginning of the film, and they cut the gravity, and the blood is like goes into spheres, and I mean, it's kind of gross, but really kind of cool, like, because that's what liquids would probably do. So this is interesting. I'm looking at this reference photo, and this is kind of a perspective thing, but because this fin is like down lower than the tail here. But yeah, I like Star Trek 6 a lot. But yeah, for Wrath of Khan, of course, I mean, goes without saying, I didn't mind the original, but yeah, it's definitely not one of my favorites. Yeah, that was the one where they were trying to start a war between the Klingons and the Federation, so it was like a big setup. I think it was the Romulans, if I remember correctly. That's too long of a fin. It's been a while since I've seen that film. I need to watch it again. They were Klingons, yes. Of course, I don't know. I kind of consider it apples and oranges, but I like the original Star Trek a lot, especially the films. But I am more. Well, I came into the game. I mean, I was familiar with Star Trek, but I'm a little bit more of a next gen person. I'm really a Deep Space Nine person, but there aren't any movies. But I really like First Contact quite a bit. I thought it was a really good movie. But I'm not one of those people who's like, you either like old Trek or... I think there's room for all of it. So I'm just giving this whale a little bit more of a definitive line work here. Not sure how I feel about this. This should be like... It's got a little more curve here, and then there's almost like a little raised point. Maybe even a little further up there. Of course, they got these little... I'm making this really small. They got these little growths and stuff here. What's really cool about these humpback whales, and I'll be honest, I'm not super knowledgeable about whales. Like, that is one sea animal that I don't know a ton about. I know a little bit. I know the basics. I know they're cetaceans. I know that, just your basic whale stuff, but it's not an animal that I know a ton about. But these guys are so pretty with the white pectoral fins and stuff. I just think they're really a pretty whale. Some whales are freaky looking. Sperm whales are really weird looking. Even blue whales. I mean, they're impressive, but they're weird looking. I just caught part of that. I watched a um, episode of Next Generation. I missed it. I missed the end of it. Something about it was cheesy. There are some cheesy Next Generation episodes, to be sure.
Watched a couple of episodes of Next Generation recently on BBC American. It's quite cheesy, almost as cheesy as the original Star Trek.
Yeah.
I'm a Kirk fan mainly, although Picard is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, and I enjoy the original series movies. What do you think about the remakes of the original series stuff that they've come out with the last few years? I've enjoyed them. Again, I wouldn't like replace one for the other, but I think they've done a pretty good job. But I don't know. I haven't been able to get into this newest iteration of Star Trek at all. It took me a while to get into the one before that too. I can't remember what it's called. What's the one with Bakula, Scott Bakula in it? Enterprise, yeah. Enterprise. But and when I first started watching Deep Space Nine, I hated it, but it's now my favorite of the series. Weird. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the outline of this whale. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go in and add a little color to it. I think what I'm going to do too is I'm going to change my background because I want to kind of get this blue. I want to try and get this blue that I'm seeing in the reference. Of course, it changes hues, but a lot of times when you see marine life like this, like they have a blue tint to them, not because they're actually blue, but because they're in the water, which is blue. And I don't want to miss out on that. One of the mistakes I've made is I did a sea turtle shirt for the aquarium for camp, and this is just a base coat I'm putting down here, and it came out pretty good, but I did it with it having a blue background in mind, and then we ended up putting on an orange shirt, so it was a camp shirt, and the colors are weird looking on there because of that. I see that there was another comment, but I missed it. I think it was Terry.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty good on their own. It's like the new Star Wars, though. Can't do too much digital to things like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
nothing like the original. It's hard to compare the new to the old.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think that it needs to be replaced, but it's kind of cool maybe bringing it to a new generation. But yeah, I agree 100% about the digital thing. Like, please, I'm not opposed to CGI, but it doesn't always work, and it's usually doesn't work as well as the older special effects. I don't know if you're a Dark Crystal fan, Terry, but if you are, you probably already know this, but they're remaking that movie, and they're not doing any, or they're doing very limited or no CGI. That made me so happy. I was excited. It was one of those things where I was so excited. They're not remaking it. They're actually making I think a pre show to it. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, please don't mess that up. That's one of my favorite things ever. I mean, I did have a cat named after it. Oh, Terry's your wife is a Dark Crystal fan? Yeah, I love the Dark Crystal. Love it. So I like to put this base coat down just so I can sort of differentiate this from the background, and then I'll start adding some shadow and stuff into it. Of course, I don't have. Well, it's only 8 o'clock. I could get a little bit of detail in this. I'm pretty happy with the way the sketch came out. We may leave it a little sketchy Yeah, I love the Neverending Story, but that movie could probably use an update. Or Labyrinth. I love Labyrinth. Um, they're not, the front fins are not, well, I mean, they are big. They're really big, but in this drawing, they look bigger, and I think that's a little bit of forced perspective because the tail is back in the background quite a bit, and so you're not really seeing the how far the tail is going back yet. Hopefully, I can portray that as I go through this. But they do have really large pectoral fins. They are big. All right, so now I've laid my color in, and let's do this. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to get a nice dark, deep blue. Let's see if we can kind of fade those. That may be a little deeper than I want. I'm also going to change to a softer brush here. That's a little darker than I want. We'll see if we can kind of fade this into the background. Because, yeah, it's a little misleading at the moment. It makes more sense. I should have put the reference photo in this file, and it'd probably make a little more sense. I hope that paper sound isn't too loud. I know it doesn't bother me drawing, but I think it might be louder when you hear it through the microphone. I'm not sure. There's actually a lot of highlight up here. Probably shouldn't be focusing too much on this yet, so I haven't done this part, but I don't like to do it this way. I don't know why I am. But I like to add the highlights last. Okay, it's not bother. I'm glad it's not bothersome because I know it. Sometimes things like that sound a lot different through like a microphone. But this paper like, now I'm making that darker. This paper like coating I have on here is really helps with the control and just the feel of it, kind of simulating that sort of natural paper type feel. So let me see. I'm going to see if I can bring this background and add maybe a little bit of a variation too to kind of sell this a little bit. That's a little, not really. So here's one of the cool things you can do with this program. So I'm going to lay in just some kind of loose lines. I'm going to take this a little bit darker down at the bottom here. Just kind of layer it on. This doesn't have, like in Photoshop, one of the things this program does not have is like a bucket to do a gradient. But what I can do is I can lay it in like this. I might go a little lighter up at the top even. And then I can give it a Gaussian blur. I better actually lay this color down because that background's not really there. All right, so now I got it down. Now it doesn't look bad like that, but I'm actually going to go in here, give it a blur. And see how it kind of gives me that look. Pretty cool. These fins are really up front, and the light is like hitting them bright. They're also white, like I said, but oops, that's no, I'm way too big here. I think I was on the wrong layer. There we go. Yeah, it's like they're like glowing. Lighten this up a bit. Come over here. Maybe give this a little more blue. Little atmospheric perspective. All right, Terry, thank you. Yeah, post your painting so we can see it. Is there anybody else on there, Sandy?
There's 5 in the chat.
Oh, are there? Okay. Well, welcome out there. Thank you for watching. This is a little bit of a sketchy whale. I don't mean like, I'm not judging his character or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm not going to get too finished with him, but we'll try and get a little bit more. We'll bring on a little more detail. Oh yeah, definitely post it. Yeah, for sure. Doesn't have to be a creature. These guys also have these. Go back to my pencil. I drew these lines in with black, but really they're almost these like white lines here, and there's some white on these areas here. These are all folds in the whale, so this is a baleen whale, which is how it eats. It's got these like comb-like fibrous structures in its mouth, and its strategy for eating is to take in an enormous amount of water and then filter it through those. So these pleated mouths help them to open that up really wide. See if I can blend this a little bit. Now I think what I'm going to do is maybe go to this layer and see if I can just take this down a little bit. and go above it. Ooh, he looks like the winter is coming whale right now. Yeah, when does Game of Thrones come back on? Anybody watch Game of Thrones out there?
I think it's April.
April. It's coming soon, though. After winter. After winter it's coming is what it should say. When we were talking about it at work today. Now, if I was spending a lot of time on this, I would really enjoy doing this whale's eye because they have so much personality in their eyes.
That looks like a people eye.
Looks like a people eye.
Mm-hmm.
Whale eyes kind of look like people eyes. Oh, my mom's still there.
She's quiet. Everybody's quiet tonight.
Yeah. I don't even know who else is on. Who else is on? Say hello if you want to. No pressure. I'm just going to try and make this a little less sketchy of a line. As I draw this, I'm thinking, man, this is one I would like to... I don't know if it'll be this one, but at some point I'm going to need to do a serious drawing of a whale because I'm kind of enjoying the painting of this whale and just the form of it and stuff is pretty cool. I've never really drawn a whale. I think I've drawn a cartoon whale once, like somewhat seriously drawn it. And that was about it. Let me just turn this layer off now. All right. All right, I think I'm going to call him done for now because I want to draw something else. So we're going to stick a fork in this whale and go on to something a little different. This is actually a lot different. I'm going to change our background color back to maybe this tone. I might change my pencil to a dark red just so I could differentiate it. Gonna pull up my other reference drawing. This is another animal that I think of as more of a winter animal. And it's another one that I don't know that I've drawn much of. If maybe once or twice I've kind of drawn these. So this one could be a little challenging. We'll see how it goes. See when you guys can, if any of you want to guess what it is as I go through it here. Of course, I picked a really difficult one to draw too. You'll see why soon. All right, let's focus on this one. Oh, that's way off. Hang on, we gotta fix this. That's better. Starting to regret my decision on this one. Well, we'll try it. It's the worst that could happen. Anybody know what it is yet? Everybody's so quiet tonight. Let's erase that. Needs to be a little closer up. Would my mom say something?
I could find a place to hang this whale among my other sea creatures. I don't have a whale yet.
I think my mom's trying to tell me she wants me to draw her a whale. Among, not amount.
I read among. I know what she meant.
Yeah. Interpreting the...
Yes.
Anybody know what this is yet? Hopefully.
I mean, I do.
I know you do. This needs to be closer. Hey, Melody. It is not a sloth. It is not a sloth. Let me go in with some inks. See if I can help people sort it out here. It is a mammal, though.
Mm-hmm.
It is an otter, Melody. It is a sea otter and a sea otter baby.
Are they called pups?
I think they're called pups. But then I started thinking, are they called pups or kits? But I think they are called pups for some reason. Because it's otter pups.
Otter pups.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God, look at the little baby.
They're pretty adorable. They are pretty adorable, no doubt. And you can see these guys on a cruise if you're if you're into the cruising, which probably most people here are. If you go to one, like the Alaska cruises and stuff like that, they are a cruise creature you could potentially see. Hey, Emily's here. Yes, it is an otter, a sea otter specifically. So a lot of people get confused about that. Oh, wait, Joe's here too. All right, Joe. They see otters in Florida and they ask if there's sea otters. There are no sea otters in Florida, except for, I think maybe SeaWorld has some, but they don't live here in Florida. All the sea otters are on the West Coast. There are sea otters, there are river otters here, but that's it. What's the temperature like where you guys are at, Joe and Emily? Cold? Probably. That's like everybody. It's cold. I mean, I can't say it's cold here, but
No, it was 80 degrees when I left work today.
was it 80? I think it was 70 when I was coming home. Emily, my beautiful wife, is here too. She is the one who is mostly helping me see the comments. Although they're coming through a little bit easier than normal tonight on my iPad, so that's kind of nice.
Ooh. Joe's battery died this morning. It was so cold.
Oh, I remember those kind of days. I made him frown. I don't want to do that.
Ooh, 18 degrees in North Carolina.
Ugh. Yeah, we were watching.
Hi, Emily.
We were watching Tony's video, and Sandy's like, "Why is he wearing two shirts?" How soon we forget what it's like everywhere else.
Yes, it was chilly yesterday morning, Melody.
So I don't know that I've ever really drawn sea otters like this, and I can tell you it is not easy. Of course, I chose to draw the pup.
It's 8:25, Matthew.
8:25. Okay, we'll be done soon. Let me see if I can. Let me just try and finish him up real quick. Then I'll just try and do. That'll be my excuse for it looking terrible.
Doesn't look terrible.
But I mean, look at these little paws here. I mean, come on. Come on. Are you kidding me with these cute little things? I mean, look at that. Right? Come on.
They're pretty cute.
They're like all fluffy. These have to be one of the cutest animals on the planet, but I do know that they will also rip your face off.
Emily says she knows she was late, but tell her something fun about sea otters.
Well, Emily, they'll rip your face off. So places that have these like aquariums and stuff, they're usually hands off because it's not that they're evil. I mean, it's just that they're otters, and otters are rough, and we are just no comparison to their toughness.
She said that's not fun.
Might be fun for the otters. I don't know. Um, so sea otters, here's a cool fact about sea otters. Sea otters are one of the animals that are really well known for tool use. So they will eat things like sea urchins and different types of clams and stuff like that. And in order to get into the shells or break the test open of the sea urchin, they will go down and pick up rocks, and then they will put it on their bellies. They'll float on their backs, and they will bash it with the rock. So that's pretty sophisticated tool use for a non-human, which is pretty cool.
Melody asked if you ever finish the pictures you do in the live stream. If you do, you should post them on the Facebook page.
Melody, I'll be honest, I usually don't because I have so many other projects going on. Some of them I want to finish, others I'm like, oh, I'm glad that's done. Because when I draw something not in a live stream, I do a lot more sketching and a lot more. It takes me a lot longer. It's a lot slower process because I want it to be perfect. And when I'm in the live stream, I don't want you guys to watch me like sketching the same 5 lines for 10 minutes. So I try and speed it up a little bit. But sometimes, I don't know, I have maybe 1 or 2 taken them a little bit further. But I tell you what, maybe on this cruise coming up, because we're going to cruise on Monday, if I have time, I might do some drawing. Maybe I'll finish one of these off a little bit more, and I will post it up there. I don't know if I did post the Sergeant Major that I did last week. I didn't really finish it, but I got to a pretty good finishing spot in the live stream. Now I will tell you, Melody, that I have been thinking pretty hard about trying to get those snorkeling videos and diving videos edited this week. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them. I'm going to release the whole thing, but I'm going to release them in sections. So you could...
Do you need a house sitter? Are you available?
Are you available, Joe? So that way people can watch them all like in a playlist, or you can just watch them like, I don't know how long they'll be, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Do you like cats?
Something like that. Yeah, we have 2, well, only 2 cats will be here, and then the other cat goes to her friend's house and plays. And then there's a lizard who will also bite your face off, and a snake and a snapping turtle that will just try and kill you because he thinks you're food. But yeah, come on down. No, you need to come here when we're here. That's no fun. We're not here.
In September.
I know. All right, well.
Too far. It's too far.
It is, I know. Well, hopefully it'll. I don't know. I don't want to get through too much either. We're excited about this cruise. We're excited about April. February, we got a lot of fun stuff going on. Just a lot of stuff happening. Yeah, it's rough, right? I know people are like, oh, I couldn't live in Florida. I'd miss the seasons. But they don't say that a lot this time of year.
This time of year.
Yeah, Melody, I think I might try and knock at least one of those out this week because I want to get another video out this week. I'm going to release the last of the gear snorkeling videos, I think, next week. And then hopefully when I get back from the cruise, I'll have some of the other snorkeling videos. So I might try and knock out a couple of those so I have maybe some content coming out next week. And then I have another idea. Maybe I'll bounce this off you guys before we go real quick. I was thinking about doing a animal towel folding demonstration, like how to fold. I'll have to figure out if I know how to do it, but I think I do.
I was just gonna say, do you know how to fold?
I think I do. I think I could work it out and do like at least some of them. I know I can do the elephants because I've done them in clay, so I could do them with real towels. But listen, it is 8:32, And I know that I want to get over to La Lita Loca and chat with everybody. I'll probably see you guys over there and let you guys get over there too. But thank you for hanging out tonight, and have a fantastic rest of your evening. And I'll talk to you next time, or maybe in a few minutes. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.